Hello and welcome. It's Monday night and we're streaming again. The chat settings on the wrong thing. Okay, so yeah, Monday night streaming. Krogan, hello, welcome. This week I'm going to be importing, I'm getting ready to do the big space battle at Sluis at the end of the book. And I need more ships than I've currently imported, so I'm going to bring in some more. And I thought, since we haven't had any streams about Y-Wings for quite some time, I'd bring one in, hopefully without any crashes. How was your day? It was pretty good. How was your day? I did manage to injure my arm about a week ago. I wish it was doing something exciting, but I fell off a chair trying to hang a curtain up, or fix a curtain. So that's been annoying. Cause my arm's got some limited movement now until it heals. It's getting better, but it's not healed yet, and it means I can't do any motion capture, which is annoying. So that's why I'm doing stuff like this, because I don't need to do anything. So let's bring it in. It's little loading screens up, so I can't do anything. It was great. I declared the creation of the first Galactic Empire in Stellaris with me as the Emperor, and I built the TIE Bomber Lego set. I have the TIE Bomber Lego set. I've built it. It's on my desk in front of me. Well, not right in front of me. It's kind of. I've got a box with old games and stuff in, and it's sitting on top of that. But it's a great set. Matthew, hello, welcome. So, the Y-Wing's been imported. There are a couple of issues. Mainly this section of the Y-Wing here is transparent, and it shouldn't be. So we're going to be fixing things like that. Let's have a quick inspection just to see if there's anything else that's... Yeah, it looks like there's a few bits like that. So first thing to do is fix them. And fortunately I do know how to do it. I don't know why it happens. I think it must be something to do with the way the ship was modelled. But yeah, there's a couple of sections like this. There's a bit here, some stuff here at the end. But yeah, it's an easy thing to fix. So let's go for it. My birthday is 5 weeks from now, so the gift I'd like is sold out on Hasbro Pulse UK. Well, what was it you were hoping for? What's sold out? I have to admit, I haven't been keeping track on Hasbro Pulse. So yeah, the way to fix this: select the piece, click two-sided. Now I'm going to go through all of the sections that are a problem. See, that bit's done. Easy. Just got to see section here. Something about Star Wars Retro 6 box set. I didn't see what that was. Let me have a look. Oh, I see. Scout Trooper, Lando, Leia in Disguise, Luke, the Emperor, and Han. I see why you were after this. It's a very good set. Since you're also in the UK, have a look at a website called Jedi Archives. The new encodes 3PO and R2-D2. Ah, I didn't know. I haven't been keeping track of all the Hasbro figures. Mainly I go for the Black Series. So I haven't been keeping track of these ones. But yeah, check out Jedi Archives. It's I spoke at my Mara Jade figure from because it's sold out everywhere else. Floopy, hello, welcome. And look what we've got. It hasn't crashed yet. And I haven't crashed into it. But I thought we haven't had a Y-wing on here for a while. Well, if there are any crashes, I hope it's after I finish doing this. I might get a Lego Yoda set from eBay. That's also a good choice. Just saw Indiana Jones today. I saw it on Wednesday. It got released here on Wednesday. I really enjoyed it. What did you think? Without any spoilers, because for those who haven't seen it yet. I saw Indiana Jones on Watch Series. San Mateo, hello, welcome. Today I'm fixing up a Y-wing. Getting ready for the Battle of Sluis van. There are some issues. I don't fully understand why. Because I'm not a 3D modeler, I just know how to fix it. Hey Angelus, what would you think if they made a VR Star Wars game where you got to be the captain of an Imperial Star Destroyer and you actually got to stand there on the ship? I'd probably have to buy a VR headset to play that. Though I'd prefer they did it without the VR option. Because then I could play it without having to buy anything extra. Angela Squadron standing by. Very nice. What does that part do for the ship? I may never know why. I do not know. I want a SimCity kind of game set on Coruscant. That'd be intriguing. I mean, Galactic Battlegrounds, you could probably mod that into a city building game. I mean, it is sort of a city building game. Maybe if you did a custom scenario where you didn't have any enemies, but instead just had to build things. Because there's some Coruscant tiles. Yeah, Coruscant tiles. A tile set and graphics. Plus structuring in atmosphere, maybe. Could be. It's not the most aerodynamic aircraft, ship, so it would make sense if there was something like that. We have seen them flying in the atmosphere. Let's make sure I didn't miss it. Do these need? Yep. And that one. After being down with Heir to the Empire, I think you move to Dark Force Rising sometime after, or is it the whole deal for you? A little bit early to decide on that yet, although I do know that at some point I will have to read Dark Force Rising if I am going to continue it, so I should probably do that soon. But I feel like I need to get a little bit more done on Heir to the Empire before I get too far ahead with that as an idea. Let's see. I think I've got everything over here. Nope. I think that might... Oh, no, I did do that one. Yeah. Oh, didn't miss that one. That's good. RPG source for those movies have good info also. Yeah, I've got someone did send me the RPG source books. I look forward to the Battle of Yukio when you finally get round to Last Command. I actually thought about... I spent some time figuring out how I would actually show that. And I know it's quite a way off. But, you know, I just thought it's an intriguing scene to pull off visually. It'd be a good challenge, so I spent some time thinking about it. And then I figured it out. And of course I'm not anywhere near that section of the story yet. I think this bit. There we go, that bit. It's quite hard to tell because it's such a rugged ship with all these extra components sticking on. It's hard to tell where the transparent issue is or not. Though I'm thinking I might have got it all now. Nope. That looks wrong. And it was. And there's one there. And that. What are your hobbies besides Star Wars? And just I like gaming. I like. Oh, there's one. Got to do these bits on this engine. I like to cosplay, creating things. During lockdown, I got really into painting miniatures. I got a couple of the Star Wars. I know you said besides Star Wars, but it's kind of hard to get away from it. Some of the tabletop games, I got Imperial Assault, and I never got around to painting any of the miniature figures that came with the game. So that was something I decided to do as a lockdown project, was to paint all of those. Then of course I ran out of those, so I started painting all the Armada fighters, and you know, they're tiny. But it's a good way to, the tiny Armada fighters were a little bit of a challenge because you know, they are so small, but that was a good project to work on. What program is this? Never seen it. This is 3D Exchange, and you only really need it if you're using iClone, because it's a way to bring 3D models into iClone. So I've got this Y-wing, which I thought looked really good. Despite all the detail, it's actually fairly low poly, so it's going to be good for having a few of them on screen at once. So yeah, the idea is the newer versions of iClone have this kind of features built in. I kind of prefer to do it this way because you get a little bit of extra control that I haven't figured out how to do with the native iClone import. So I know it's a little bit more work, but I prefer the results. Can read Dark Force Rising, yeah, Empire Strikes Back from a certain point of view book. I need to get the audiobook of that because a friend of mine played the New Hope one where we were on a road trip last year, and that was really good. So I need to get the Empire Strikes Back one. Wednesday I might order Lego X-Wing from Amazon. The Lego X-Wings are pretty good. I'm just looking for that. Is it something? Is it somewhat affordable? One of the toy ships I never got in the 80s. I didn't really get any Star Wars toys until the 90s. I really liked the Action Fleet Micro Machines because they were pretty. The detail was nice, and each one came with 2 figures. They were affordable, so you could save up and buy them, which is nice. I've still got my collection. I can actually see some of them now. I've got 2 X-Wings and a TIE Interceptor visible here. Now we've got the Micro Galaxy Squadron, which are kind of similar. They're small ships, but they're highly detailed, and you get 2 figures with them. A little bit frustrating that here in the UK it's hard to get the latest waves. Wave 1 was released at the same time as the US. Everything else, I think you guys are on wave 3 or 4 now, and we still haven't got 2. Though mentioning that site, Jedi Archives again, they did manage to get the snow speeder in from Wave 2, and I bought one of those. I found some bits that needs fixing. The two greatest effects from my childhood is not having grown up alongside Lego and comic books. I can see why those would be big regrets. Am I the only old collector in the chat? I do have some of the Kenner figures that my mum was able to get when I was a kid. But they're missing all the accessories. The lightsabers are missing on the characters that have them. I've still got them. Obviously they're not in boxes or anything like that. I like seeing you guys interacting and recommending stuff to each other. It's kind of a nice community spirit we've got going on here. Okay, I think I've got... Let's have a close look at the front. I feel like there might be something missing here. Nope. Not here. Yeah, that'll do. So yeah, I think I've got the wiring finished. So I'm going to import it into iClone. This will take a moment. And what's this? Alright, that's fine. Is that fine? Ah, missed a bit. Lucky find that. So I guess it wasn't quite finished yet. That looks suspicious. I saw a good joke on fanfic once. How'd you open Dawn Kashyyyk? With the Wookiee. That's terrible. The Wookiee. A wizard is never late, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to. Crazy hello and welcome. Missed the beginning, but still got a way to go. Just fixing up this wiring model for use later on in the series. I'm going to remember that Wookiee joke. I think I can irritate a few people with it. Were they tri-carded figures? You mean mine? No. There was no... They were completely out of the packaging when found them. I think they'd been well played with before I got with them, and obviously I played with them a lot as well. What software do you use to edit chapters together? I use Sony Vegas. I can't tell you which version offhand, but I've used that for a lot of my video editing. It works quite nicely. It's it was very popular with the machinima community that I was part of, so I picked it up and it's just been something I've stuck with. Keep finding extra bits. There's another one. I keep finding extra bits that I missed. Oh, that wasn't one. Okay. See something here. And there. Which means there's probably some others along here. Yeah. That one. That one. Good that I'm finding these. I mean, in all likelihood, no one's going to notice any of these issues when the ship's flying around so fast that you're not going to get to look at these little details, but it would annoy me knowing they're there. So I want it to be as good as possible. If I get some birthday man, I might order the Lego Rex. How much? What, Cody? Good choices. Soka's only a little ways away. Is everyone excited? Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with it. I started rewatching Rebels to prepare for it. Seemed like a good idea, because it looks like it's basically a live action Rebels season 5, which I said that at Celebration, and then it kind of came out more recently in an interview that Dave Filoni was treating it as such. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what it does. If you decide, I understand why you want to read the books first, but if you decide you do want to watch the show anyway, I suspect it'll draw some influence from the books, but it's not going to be the same story. Kind of like the way I put it, I was pretty sure I've said this before on the stream. It's like The Winter Soldier. The film and the comic. The film is very good. It draws some concepts from the comic, but it's not the same story as the comic, even though it has some similarities. I imagine that's going to be something similar with Ahsoka. There'll be some things that are from the book, and then there'll be some that are not. And that works nicely for me because I still get to do this. General Kenobi. Outbound Flight was good. Thrawn's the first show. I don't want to spoil outbound flight. Obviously you're still reading it, but it was a good book. There was a Thrawn moment which I just read several times over because it's just so good. You'll know when you get to it. Disney doesn't want to pay royalties. They don't have to pay royalties because they own it. The only time they have to pay out is when someone buys the books. They have to pay the author then, but they don't have to pay royalties if Thrawn appears in something else. That's fair enough, reading the books beforehand. I do that sometimes, other times not, depending on what it is. My cousin just read the Thrawn trilogy and he enjoyed it. I'm trying to get him to read The Hand of Thrawn now. Yeah, The Hand of Thrawn's a good follow-up. So I hope your cousin does read those as well. It feels like it's never ending. Have I got it all now? No, still haven't got it all. This is the problem with some of the models you find online, is they do this kind of nonsense. Other models I found are pretty good, but unfortunately, yeah, it was a pack of models for modders for Heir to the Empire to use. And it's got loads of different ships in, and I've used that for a lot of the ships that have appeared in the series. Unfortunately, the Y-wing was not included, so I had to find this one instead, and I like the detail. It's just this annoying little issue. I think we've got something here. Maybe that's it. There's going to come a point where I'm just going to go with it however it is. Which I think is coming soon. Just have an last inspection of the side here. And the other side. Would have been nice to have thrown live and help the Kong. It would. It would have been that the new Jedi Order series would have been one book. Whether I can get 2 seats or 1. That's a good question. It looks like 2. I think it's meant to be 2, but maybe it isn't. I don't know. There's definitely room for two. I'm not going to worry too much about the inside though, because they're not going to be showing inside the cockpit. It's just really to see the ship flying around. I was watching an interview with Timothy Zahn a couple of years ago, and he was saying there's all this that's his character Eli that he wants to write but needs the green light. I think I read the same interview. He was explaining that because this is when the trilogy was still being developed, and that there were plans for a lot more Star Wars movies than actually happened. So the movie directors get first choice over everything, especially the ones working on the sequel trilogy. And then the people doing the TV shows get second choice, though they still have to answer to the movie directors. And then the book and comic authors get third choice, but they have to wait to see what everyone else is doing first. I wonder how a conversation between Thrawn and Luke would go if Thrawn survived. I'd be interested to have seen that. I don't think they met. Yeah, I think that's done. If there are still any issues, they're so small that I can just spot another one. Alright, I'm going to fix this while I'm at it. Yep, that looks like it's done. Maybe. Yeah. Your chair sees some miles. Yes, it's quite a squeaky chair. Okay, so because I think that's done. Perhaps he's already writing new books. When I met him last, he didn't. He said he didn't know anything about. Yeah, I imagine that he's under a NDA, so he's going to deny everything, even if he knows more than he's going to let on. Because everything is obviously very secret. Have we seen the vids of the squeaky doors that sound like Chewbacca? No, I haven't actually. That sounds like something I need to look up. Yeah, I think this is done now. So I'm going to export. Don't think you can see the options. Just take a minute. Or not. That was quick. Maybe his new books have been improved and he has to wait before he can announce it. Yeah, well, he's just working on it. Um, he may have had to wait until a certain point with the TV show was developed before you could start writing, because things are gonna. I mean, at this point, that they're probably not going to change much, or anything. But even after they finish filming, if they need to adjust the story, some things don't necessarily work once you start watching it through. They can bring the actors back and do some pick-up shots and things like that. So this close to release, that's probably not happening. So he could start writing something now, but maybe when you met him, he couldn't have done that yet because it was too early on. Because it's not just a case of they write a script and then film it and then nothing ever changes. They are changing stuff all the time. Have you thought about adding a manufacturer stamp on the Y-Wing? I think the Y-Wings are so old that any stamp like that probably probably wouldn't be still on the ship because it's for the action it's been through. Okay, so I'm going to switch over to iClone. So bear with me one moment. There we go. Seamless. Okay. So let's bring the Y-Wing in. Oh, that is bright. Well, it seems to have disassembled itself. I don't know what. Okay. I don't know why it's done that. Let's try it again. Right. Nope. Wiring won't stand against a chance. Yeah, well, I mean, it's in pieces, so it's not going to be doing much or anything. I don't know why it's done that. Because in 3D Exchange, it's fine. Alright, try one more time. No. Well, that's embarrassing. because it's all imported in one piece, so I can't just fix it. Is it just a preview non-rendered glitch? No, this is the actual. So the way iClone works, this is the full render. I mean, I can take this and put it into Omniverse, which is where I do the main rendering, but it'll still look like this. Programs aren't talking to one another. Yeah, apparently not, and you think they would be because they're made by the same people. In fact, the whole point of 3D Exchange is to work with iClone. I've never had this happen before though. Alright, I'm going to try something else. Bear with me a moment while I try and figure this out. Okay, let's delete that and try this. Victory! Look at that. Now I'm sure there was a very technical explanation of what that was. I have no idea. So well, thank you for dropping by. It's always good to see you. So yeah, I exported it from 3D Exchange into, instead of doing it directly into iClone, I just exported the file into FBX format, which is a common 3D model format for, well, 3D models. And then I put that file straight into iClone, and that seems to have worked. So there we go. And that looks really good. Right. What I'm going to do quickly. Well, I try my best. I'm just going to quickly save this model because I don't want to have to go through all that again. So let's try and see what it's going to look like in Omniverse, which is the final rendering platform. So let me go through that process. Don't think you can see it, so I'll try to be as quick as possible. There we go. So let me load up Omniverse. New version of Omniverse since last week as well, which is quite nice. At least the main... Well, Omniverse has lots of different components to it, but the part I use for rendering is kind of new version. So that's quite nice. This will take a moment to load up. Okay, so let me switch over to the Omniverse option. See if I can get this right. Nope, that's not what we want. It's not working. Just trying to get this to work. I'm not sure. Let's try this one. Nope. Let's try that one. Okay, there we go. So wiring test. Look at that. Let's change the lighting. Couple of shadow issues, but I think otherwise that looks pretty good. Add some battle damage, maybe. I could. I don't think you're going to get close enough to see it in the actual battle. Kind of a moody shot of the that looks really good. Well worth the effort of bringing it in. So there we have it, one Y-wing ready to go. Turn the grid off so it looks a bit more natural. I like to try and go for, this could be a studio model. I know I can't make it quite that detailed, but this is going to look really good once it's in motion, I think. So there we have it, one Y-wing ready to go, no crashes. Although I suppose just now when we had that glitch with it being in pieces. It looked like it had crashed. Or so yeah, I'm looking forward to doing something with this once we get to the battle scene. Just still a way off, but I just because I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, I did manage to injure my arm, so I can't do any motion capture. So rather than do nothing, I'm looking ahead and getting some of this sorted out. But yeah, I'm really pleased with how that looks. Well, underneath. Need to bring the light under. Not so much detail on the bottom, but it doesn't really matter that much since it's more likely to be seen from the top. Oh, excuse me. Ugh. I guess that is a sign it's getting late and maybe I should head off to bed. So yeah, now makes sense really, since I finished doing this. Looks like you're all pleased with it, which is nice to see. So yeah, I think I will call it a night. So thank you all for coming and watching this, and for your input and some good discussions about Star Wars. Also, it really pleased me when you recommended things to each other as well. I mean, that's a really nice community feeling. So yeah, that's done. Thank you all for coming. May the strong be with you, and see you next time.